Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 16th. Pete Rose is now Hall of Fame eligible. How about them Twins? Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here about halfway now through the month of May. Teams are rolling. We've got some that are starting to really stand out and some that are making high rises to tops of the leagues. You'd be surprised how far some teams have risen, or would you? I don't really know. Regardless, let's dive right on into our series recap. Leading things off, we have the Rays and the Jays. Aranda and Jansen go deep for Tampa. Bo and Ernie go deep for the Jays. Ernie, his first of the year. Dalton Varsho, he homers twice. That second home run gave the Jays the lead late. But in the ninth, it's Junior Caminero with the last laugh for Tampa. He hits a grand slam. The Rays get the comeback late, 11-9 the final there. Then in game two, it's Alejandro Kirk who hits a 3-run home run. The difference in that one, 3-1 Blue Jays. And then Brandon Lau hits 2 home runs. Meisner goes deep. And how about Josh Lowe? In his first game back from the IL, he goes deep, his first home run of the year. 3 Lows, Low. 8-3 Tampa, they take 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays. Twins and Oilers, there's rain on Tuesday, which meant the doubleheader on Wednesday. Brooks Lee and Christian Vasquez go deep. Vasquez is first of the year. It's a 6-3 Twins win. And in the other game, it's Trevor Larnach, it's Willie Castro, it's Cody Clemens that go deep. 8-6 Minnesota, they are on a roll. In the final game, it's Deshaun Kersey, Jr. and Byron Buxton that go yard for the Twins. Buxton and Correa both had to leave the game after a collision in the field, but the Twins still get the win. Their 11th straight dub as they sweep Baltimore 4-0. Red Sox and Tigers, it's all Detroit in game one. They score 9 runs in the third inning. Glaber and Trey Sweeney go deep. 14-2 Tigers. Then in the second game, it's the Javi Baez show. He hits 2 3-run home runs in the game. The second one, how about a walk-off 3-run home run in the 11th inning? The Tigers take a 10-9 victory. And in the final game, they win another on a walk-off. This time it's Justin Henry Malloy with the RBI single. The Tigers sweep the Red Sox, win that one 6-5. Brewers and Guardians. Guardians pitching stunning 5-0, 2-0 in the first 2 games. Jose Ramirez goes deep. But in that final game, it's Sal Frelick, it's Rhys Hoskins that go deep for the Brewers. They get an offensive showing for once. 9-5 the final there. The Guardians, though, take 2 of 3 from the Brewers. Royals and Astros. The Royals open up game 1 with 7 scoreless across 2 innings. They picked up 3 runs and 4 runs, leading them to a 7-5 victory over Houston. But then the Astros came back with vengeance. Pena, a home run, a tie in game 2, and then Isaac Paredes with a walk-off home run, leading to a 2-1 Astros win. Paredes hits another home run in the rubber match in this one. That would tie it up. The Astros score 2 in the 8th to take the lead. 4-3 the final in this one. Astros taking 2 of 3 from the Royals. Rockies and Rangers, a team that's trying to be very good, a team that isn't very good. What did you expect to happen? Wyatt Langford, he hits a 2-run home run. It's a 2-1 victory for Texas. Josh Young, 2 home runs. In the second game, he got all 4 of his team's RBIs, a 4-1 Texas win. And in the last game, it's Langford again. He's joined by Adolis Garcia, 8-3 Texas, the final. The Rangers sweep the Rockies. Yankees and Mariners. This series starts off with Julio going deep. Grisham gets 2 home runs in the game. Polanco goes deep. Austin Wells goes deep. Kyle Rowley, Anthony Volpe. It's home runs aplenty that leads to a Yankees win, 11-5 the final there. In game 2, the Yankees tie it up in the 9th inning. But in the 11th, it's J.P. Crawford and the Mariners that get the last laugh. A walk-off single for Crawford. 2-1 Mariners victory. They even up the series. But in that last game, Goldie hits a home run to tie the game up, and then late in this one, it's Aaron Judge hitting his league-leading 15th home run to give the Yankees the 3-2 victory over the Mariners. They end up with that win and 2 of 3 against Seattle. The Nationals and the Braves now the only 4-game set from the week. An error in the 9th inning from Atlanta allows the Nationals to tie the game, but they just want to win in dramatic fashion as Alex Verdugo gets the walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th. The Braves take a 4-3 victory. Then they win a game 5-2, and for the first time all season long, the Braves are at 500. Their record 21-21. How about that from starting the season 0-7? The Nationals, though, come back in Game 3, take a 5-4 victory, but it's the Braves that finish off the Nationals. A 5-2 victory once again for the Braves. The Braves take 3 of 4 from the Nationals, and they're at 22-22 at 500. And that has to feel pretty good for the Braves. Pirates and Mets now. IKF is his first home run on the season, but it's the Mets that get the win here as Pete Alonso hits a sac fly to walk off the game. The Mets win in a walk-off fashion, 4-3 the final there. In Game 2, it's Brett Beatty that stays hot. Good for him finally having some success in the big leagues. He goes deep, leading to a 2-1 Mets victory. And in the final game, it's Matt Gorski and Jared Triolo who do the home runs for the Pirates in this one. 4-0 the final there. The Mets take 2 of 3 from Pittsburgh. Cardinals and Phillies, it's Ivan Herrera and Mason Wynn that go deep in a 3-2 Cardinals win for their 9th straight victory. They had rain delay on Tuesday, so a doubleheader on Wednesday, and that first game of the doubleheader is the stake in the heart of the Cardinals fans as they lose that one 2-1, and their win streak ends at 9. But do not fret, they would come back in that second game on Wednesday. Real Muto, Nootbaar, Schwarber, Alex Burleson, Mason Wynn, Bohm, all of which go deep in this game. But in the end, it's the Cardinals with a 14-7 victory as they take 2 of 3 from the Phillies. But of course, the win streak ends at 9 there. Marlins and Cubs, Swanson and Suzuki go deep in Game 1. The Cubs take a 5-2 victory. Then it's Pico Armstrong who goes deep in Game 2. The Cubs were down late, but they score 3 runs in the 9th to win on a walk-off double from Justin Turner. How do you like that, Chicago? What do you say? It's a 5-4 victory for the Cubs today, but that would change in the third game as Kyle Stowers, who's been absolutely fantastic for the Marlins. He hits a 2-homer game. He had 3 home runs in the series. Augustin Ramirez goes deep as well in this one. How about Seiya Suzuki hitting another home run, his second of the series? In the end, it's all of those 4 solo shots that make up the runs as the Marlins take a 3-1 victory to avoid the sweep. The Cubs take 2 from Miami, though. White Sox and Reds, this first game goes into extras in the 10th inning. The White Sox score 4 runs in the 10th. How do you like that? Miguel Vargas, a 3-run home run. Have a moment there. A 5-1 White Sox win. Then in Game 2, it's Lenyn Sosa and Michael A. Taylor that go deep as the White Sox win the first 2 games of the series 4-2. How about that, Chicago? In the last game, though, it's Elly De La Cruz, it's Matt McLain, and how about Will Benson getting his first home run of the year? The 3 of them go deep for a 7-1 Reds victory. Still drop 2 of 3 against the White Sox, not something you want to do if you're Cincy. Diamondbacks and Giants, it's Corbin Carroll with a 2-homer game. Only 2 solo shots, and those are the only 2 runs that matter. The D-backs win a 2-1 affair against the Giants, who come back in Game 2. Christian Koss gets his first MLB career home run, and it is in grand fashion. A grand slam for Koss. How about that? He was joined by Willy Adames and Young-Ho Lee also going deep for the Giants. But how about Corbin Carroll getting another home run in the series? And Josh Naylor goes deep as well. Giants, though, with the advantage, 10-6 the final there. And in the rubber match, it's Ketel Marte who gets a 2-homer game. Eugenio Suarez goes deep as well. And then Jung-Ho Lee, back-to-back games with a home run. How about that for a power stroke? 8-7 D-backs. They take 2 of 3 from San Francisco. We move now to A's and Dodgers, and it's all A's in the first game. The Athletics with the home run stroke. Jacob Wilson gets a 2-homer game. Miguel Andujar goes deep. JJ Bleday. And how about Nick Kurtz getting his first career MLB home run? in what was an 11-1 victory for the A's. The Dodgers, though, come back. Shohei Ohtani, Andy Pages, and how about Ha-Seong Kim with his first MLB career home run? Max Muncy wearing glasses now. He hits a home run as well. 9-3 Dodgers. And then in the rubber match, it was an absolute smacking as the Dodgers scored in 6 of 8 innings, including a 7-run third. Max Muncy goes deep. James Outman goes deep. Andy Pages goes deep again. And how about Ohtani? On the day they do a 50-50 bobblehead, he hits 2 home runs. He's that good. The Dodgers win it 19-2 and take 2 of 3 from the A's. Which brings us to the last one, Angels and Padres. The Angels with a spark plug in Game 1. Neto goes deep. Tatis goes deep for the Padres, but the Angels come back with 6 runs in the 9th, including Taylor Ward hitting a grand slam off of Robert Suarez. How do you like that, Halos? 9-5 the final there. In Game 2, Neto goes deep again. Lugo hits his second career home run, but it's Tatis with the last laugh this time as he gets another home run in the series. This one is a walk-off. His first career walk-off home run. Tatis with the power swing. 6-4 Padres. They even up the series. And in the last game, Ward hits another home run, but it's Xander Bogaerts in a 3-run home run in the first. That carries the Padres a 5-1 victory as San Diego takes 2 of 3 from the Angels, and that's your series recap. Moving on now, let's get to the game of the week, and we're going to Detroit for that second game between the Red Sox and the Tigers. This game had it all. Bottom of the first, Riley Green, he gets an RBI single, 1-0 Detroit. Red Sox get that run right back in the top of the second as Carlos Narvaez gets an RBI single. Then in the bottom of the third, it's a throwing error by Carlos Narvaez on a pickoff attempt that allows Baez to score, and it's 2-1 Detroit. Into the top of the fourth, Alex Bregman, he goes yard, his 10th home run of the season to tie the game up 2-2. But that doesn't last because in the bottom of the fourth, it's Spencer Torkelson who's having himself a year. His 11th home run on the year puts Detroit back up 1. Top 5, Boston once again ties it. Cedane Rafaela with the RBI double. And then Jarren Duran gives them the lead with an RBI single. It's 4-3 Boston. Enter Javi Baez, who hits a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. His 4th home run of the season gets Detroit their lead back. It's 6-4. We would go all the way now to the top of the 8th, where it's David Hamilton hitting his second home run of the season. It's a 2-run shot that ties the game up at 6, and we need extras. Into the 10th, Rafaela, he grounds out to bring in a run. Bottom of the 10th, Sweeney RBI single. This game keeps going. We go to the 11th, where it's Christian Campbell, the kid, the rookie, who has himself a moment. His 5th home run of the season, a 2-run shot puts Boston up 2. That has to be the game, right? Wrong. Enter Javi Baez, who once again goes deep, a 3-run shot, his 5th of the year, a 2nd in this game, and that's a walk-off bomb for El Naggio. How about that for Baez? Love to see it for him. Love to see it for the Tigers, who have one of the best records in baseball. You know what? I say, maybe the best record in baseball. You know what? I will. 29-15. They have the best record, tied with the Dodgers in baseball. How about that for the Tigers? That is your game of the week. Incredible stuff from Detroit. Really something special. All right, let's jump into the baseball news, and we're going to talk about the big one here. Not anything to do with actual current baseball, regular season, whatever, but it was MLB's decision on the permanently ineligible list. Major League Baseball removed Pete Rose as well as 16 other deceased individuals from the permanently ineligible list. This happened on Tuesday. Of course, Pete Rose unfortunately passed away last September at the age of 83, and his family wanted him to get off the list and have a chance, right? That the whole point was having a chance to get him into the Hall of Fame. Of course, Pete Rose, a fantastic player, just an outstanding, when you look at his numbers, I mean, He's played in the most career MLB games. He has the most career MLB hits, 4,256. Not only that, he's got an MVP. He's a 17-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. He's got 3 World Series, 3 batting titles, a World Series MVP, 2 Gold Gloves, a Silver Slugger. Like, he was everything. Of course, spent most of his 24-year career. Yeah, 24-year career. You heard that right. With the Reds, he spent 19 years there. He spent 5 years with the Phillies, as well as 1 year with the Expos. Played in 1963, when that was his Rookie of the Year winning season, and then retired in 1986 at the age of 45. From 22 to 45, a 24-year career. An incredible career, of course, but of course, how many times can I say, of course, in the same sentence? Pete Rose was sent to the permanently ineligible list and kind of banned from baseball when it came out that he had been betting on MLB games, which is a violation of MLB's ruling. You can't do that. So in 1997, he was then put on to the permanent ineligible list in 1989. Of course, now that he's passed away, Manfred wrote in a letter, of course, that he said, once an individual has passed away, the purpose of Rule 21 has been served. Obviously, a person no longer with us cannot represent a threat to the integrity of the game. Moreover, it is hard to conceive of a penalty that has more detrimental effect than one that lasts a lifetime with no reprieve. So, with that, Pete Rose is essentially eligible. You know, he's not banned from baseball anymore. Of course, he has passed away, but this does mean that there is a chance that he could be inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame. Of course, the Reds have him in his Hall of Fame. That happened back in 2016. The Reds were very happy, of course. On behalf of the Reds and our generations of loyal fans, we are thankful for the decision of Commissioner Manfred and Major League Baseball regarding the removal of Pete Rose from the permanently ineligible list. Pete is one of the greatest players in baseball history, and Reds country will continue to celebrate him as we always have. The Reds honored Rose on Wednesday with the news here. So this will start a whole conversation of, will he get into the Hall of Fame when it comes time to vote? Will he get his chance? Will he, be there? And will he get elected? So that's kind of what this means now. For current fans and for just kind of understanding, the whole reasoning behind it. The question will not come down to, is he worthy of a player? Because the obvious answer is yes. He was never really a home run hitter, had 160 home runs, but he had 746 doubles. As I mentioned, leads all of MLB in hits, at-bats, games, like everything. He's got 17 All-Stars. Like, he has more All-Stars than most players will now have careers. Like, people don't have 17-year careers anymore. It's like not really like seeing that. So, 79.6 career WAR with, like, it's just crazy numbers from Pete Rose. So, the question will come down to, is betting and that kind of behavior, of course, breaking MLB rules, does that warrant being into the Hall of Fame? So that's kind of the questions we'll have to see and what will happen. But very interesting development here, and we'll see where it goes when it comes down to the Hall of Fame part of things. So that's where we're at there. Moving on here, we had a couple of retirements this past week. First and foremost, Matt Carpenter announced his retirement. One of the Cardinal greats in recent years, he had a pretty substantial career, a 3-time All-Star, a Silver Slugger, and of course was a part of that Cardinals team in 2011 when they won the World Series. Of course, he was barely a rookie at the time. He played in a couple of games, 7 games all season long. Did not play in the postseason with the Cardinals, but he was there. And then, of course, 2012, came 6th in Rookie of the Year voting, and from there, the 3 All-Stars. And the lengthy career with the Cardinals, had a season with New York, a season with San Diego. But in total, in his 14-year career, had 179 home runs, 1,257 hits, a career OPS of 814, and a career WAR of 28.7. So a great player, and one of the Cardinals' fan favorites in recent years, to say the least there. Another retirement came in Tony Kemp, who Wasn't a great player by all means, but he was definitely a fan favorite across the league. A likable guy in the game of baseball. Spent some time with the Astros, with the Oakland Athletics, with the Cubs, and the Baltimore, the Oilers there. His best seasons kind of came when he was entering his 30s with Oakland, 2021, 2022. 2021 arguably was his best season. He had 3.3 WAR, an 800 OPS, 8 home runs, tying a career high. Just an overall fantastic year for Kemp. A likable guy, and that's why I want to talk about him. He's one of those guys that, didn't change the league in any way. It didn't, wasn't a star player by any means. Didn't have any all-star appearances, nothing like that. Was a part of the Astros in 2017, so he, does have a World Series ring to show. But, in total, 35 home runs, 460 hits, a 3.7 WAR, a 674 OPS. Nothing crazy, but an extremely likable guy, a great defenseman, and a guy who I will miss in the game of baseball. So Kemp and Carpenter retire. They're on their way out there, and gonna miss seeing those guys play baseball. Of course, none of them were on contracts this year. Both of them did play in 2024, but neither of them were on contracts, and that was kind of that there. So moving on here. The Dodgers are making a move. They're calling up their number 1 prospect, Dalton Rushing, catcher. He's the 15th overall prospect in baseball. So the Dodgers, even though they're so good and tied for the top league in baseball, they want to get better. They're bringing up Rushing to kind of platoon, I guess, with Smith, give him some at-bats. Of course, Rushing left-handed adds some depth there for the Dodgers lineup. In order to do this, they had to make a corresponding move, of course, and this one probably hurts Dodger fans a little bit because they are DFA'ing Austin Barnes, who, outside of Clayton Kershaw, I believe, is the Dodgers' longest tenured player. He's been with them since 2015, had plenty of great moments, always been a backup catcher, really, whether it was Will Smith in recent years, Yasmani Grandal back then, definitely a solid backup catcher. So the Dodgers are DFA'ing him. I would guess it's likely that some team will claim him because, although a backup catcher, he still has some value and, could be a backup catcher for a different team or even a starting catcher if he ends up on a White Sox or, depending on where he'll end up. If no team claims on him, then of course he'd be, could go back to AAA if he wants, or could, go to free agency. That choice would go up to him. But, he hasn't been in AAA since I think 2019. He's been around, and it's kind of tough to see. Obviously the game grows. You want the young kids coming up, and you get excited for them. But sometimes it hurts to see some of those great players, not even great players sometimes, but just some of those guys who, really did help your team out or just kind of was a staple. And I think Austin Barnes was that for the Dodgers fans. So he DFA'd right now in that process. So we'll see where he ends up, whether it'll be free agent, AAA, or another team. But Dalton Rushing should be a great impact for the Dodgers. Excited to see him getting his start, I believe, maybe even today. So not sure what's going on there. But that is all of the baseball news. So let's get into the injury updates from the week here. Dodgers are placing Roki Sasaki on the 15-day IL with a shoulder impingement. Roki, of course, not having the season he had wanted to so far, but we'll see how that goes. Bryce Miller on the 15-day IL. He's on a right elbow inflammation, so Seattle losing a starter. Ben Joyce had season-ending shoulder surgery. The Angels are choosing to keep the injury disclosed, but a season-ending shoulder surgery, the only one that pops to my mind is Tommy John. So, assuming that is the case, we won't be seeing Ben Joyce anytime soon. Oswaldo Cabrera for the Yankees on the 10-day IL with a fractured ankle. Corey Seager on the 10-day IL for the Rangers with a strained hamstring. Ian Happ on the 10-day IL with a strained oblique. And then Tanner Huck from the Red Sox on the 15-day IL with a strained forearm flexor. So those are the injury updates from the week here. we can now get into the outstanding performances from the week here. Jeffrey Springs from the A's against the Dodgers, 7 innings of work, 6 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. Jesus Luzardo, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Andrew Abbott, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, an earned run, no walks, and 7 Ks. Framber Valdez, 8 innings of work, 6 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 7 Ks. Chris Bubich, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 9 Ks. Brian Wu, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 Ks. Logan Allen, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. AJ Smith-Shawver, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Nick Martinez, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 3 Ks. And then Chris Paddock, 7 innings of work, 3 hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Those are all your outstanding performances from the week. As we go now to our stat leaderboard, and it is very judgy. Aaron Judge leads in average with 412. He leads in hits with 68. He now leads in RBIs with 41, and he's tied in home runs with Kyle Schwarber and with Shohei Ohtani, both with 15 as well as Judge, but very Aaron Judge heavy. Shohei still leads in runs at 48. Marcelo Zuna still leading in walks at 36. Luis Robert now leads in stolen bases alone, no longer having to tie with Ellie or O'Neal Cruz. He has 17 stolen bases, and then Aaron Judge in OPS, 1.279. He had a good week, so that goes up for Judge. For the pitching, Max Fried, Brandon Pfaadt, and Casey Mize are still tied at 6 wins, but they're also now joined with Hunter Brown and Robbie Ray. So we've got a 5-way tie with 6 wins apiece. Max Fried still leading in ERA with 1.11. Mackenzie Gore holding on somehow to the strikeouts, 75. Zach Wheeler had 74. It gets closer and closer each week. I have a feeling that next week Mackenzie Gore might not be leading in strikeouts, but he still does it. 75 for him. And then saves, it is still Robert Suarez. He has 15 on the year so far. We're already over like a quarter of the season done, which is crazy to think. Upcoming series. We've got a special upcoming series, actually, because this is the inaugural rival weekend that the MLB has, crafted together. Basically, this is the best rivals across the league. And it starts with the Mets in New York. The Subway Series, and Juan Soto is back in New York Stadium as a Met. And I mean, this will be absurdly crazy. How much booing, how much cheering, what will it be? What will Soto's return be for, the return? I mean, it just crazy stuff. I gotta be honest with you. Mets and Yankees is the series to watch without a doubt in my mind. The Braves and the Red Sox, Nationals at Oilers, Tigers at Blue Jays, Cardinals and Royals, Astros at Rangers, that's a deep one, Rays and Marlins, Battle of Florida, Pirates and Phillies, the Poop Series, White Sox and Cubs, of course, both Chicago, Guardians and Reds, both Ohio, Twins at Brewers, Mariners at Padres, A's and Giants, the different ring to it, but still kind of same thing for the Bay Bridge. Angels at Dodgers for the Battle of LA, of course, and then Rockies at D-backs. So rival weekend should be hopefully a great brand of baseball. I'm expecting at least 2 bench clearings because, hey, if it's rivals, you're going to want to win these games, to say the least. So yeah, very excited for that. And that gets us to our playoff predictor here with right now the Twins, who are on an 11-game winning streak, have soared into the final wildcard spot. They're still 4th in their division, though. If the season ended today, we would have 4 teams from the AL Central in the postseason. That's crazy. Twins in the 6 seed, Mariners in the 3 seed, Royals in the 5 seed, Guardians in the 4 seed. The Mariners beat the Twins. Royals beat the Guardians. So we have our ALDS matchup of Mariners at Yankees, Royals at Tigers, and it's an upset for the Tigers as the Royals beat them. Yankees beat the Mariners. So our ALCS matchup, Royals at Yankees, and the Yankees beat the Royals. They head to the World Series. On the NL side, the Giants in the 6 seed, Cubs in the 3 seed, Phillies in the 5 seed, Padres in the 4 seed. The Phillies beat the Padres. The Cubs beat the Giants. Our NLDS matchup, Cubs at Mets, Phillies at Dodgers, and it's an upset here as well. The Cubs beat the Mets. The Phillies beat the Dodgers. So our NLCS matchup is Phillies and Cubs, and it is the Philadelphia Phillies that beat the Cubs. So our World Series matchup, the Philadelphia Phillies, the New York Yankees, and it is the Philadelphia Phillies that are your 2025 World Series champions. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That is going to do it for our episode here today. A little bit on the shorter end. I like that. I kind of did good today. I guess not as much news or things to talk about here. But yeah, get excited for Rival Weekend. That will be kind of the story on Monday. We'll see how that goes. Unless MLB wants to write its new own story, we'll have to see. But I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.